Now in its 10th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Let's all sing. Hey, hi everybody, live from Harlem in New York City. Yes, this is the Ramble, and I'm Alex Bennett. Ladies and gentlemen, out in California, there is a cheerful, vivacious human being who just kind of exudes living. And his name, well, it's not Larry Bubbles Brown, that's for goddamn sure. Hello, Larry.
Yes, we're under an I hate this phrase they use now, atmospheric river.
Yeah, you know, of all the people that I have doing this, the one who I get the most remarks about, we love Larry, is you, you know?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they just, in spite of the fact there's no picture of you or anything, they love you. They think you're hilarious, and you are, you know.
Well, that gives me the will to live one more day. That's great.
Yeah, one more day.
Yes.
Yeah, you haven't. What are your current diseases? You've got a hernia.
Hernia. Yes, that's got to get that taken care of.
I know you. How long you been? I think 3 years ago you started saying that.
And I've had it for 10 years.
And you've had it for 10 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one, but it doesn't hurt me, so, you know.
Yeah, mine it comes and goes, but sometimes it's really painful, sometimes nothing.
See, at my age, if you go in for an operation like that, you could die. You know.
Someone told me that's true. I guess right. It's you got to be careful about getting surgery when you get older.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. When I went in to get my seeds implanted in my prostate, usually they just they put people out, right? And I thought that's what they were going to do for me, but they said because of your age, we don't want to take the chance of putting you out, so we can do this with a spinal, whatever.
Ew. Really?
Well, that sounds horrible, but it doesn't hurt at all. They just did it, and I lost all feeling below my waist, which I've thought was my problem for years. But anyway, no, so they just did a spinal, and I didn't feel a thing. I was awake. But what's great about being awake during your operation is you hear all the people talking to each other.
You're talking about the golf game.
Yeah, exactly. What are you doing this weekend, Bob? Well, I don't know. Hold on a second. Hand me a scalpel. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm going out to do some golf. Okay, And it's almost disconcerting that you hear everything they have to say. Well, not everything, because they kind of gave me a super drowsy pill, shot, whatever. So I wasn't put out, but I was in la-la land. So anyway, and then when I get out of the operating room, the problem with the spinal is I had to wait in the recovery room for about 3 hours till I could walk.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I don't know. They dull something in your spine or something like that, and it cuts out all feeling to your bottom half of your body.
Boy, that would freak the hell out of me.
Now, I have a good friend who's a paraplegic, and we always talk about his being a paraplegic and the problems with it and so on and so forth. But I never truly understood what he was going through. Because when you don't feel anything below your waist, and you can't move your legs because you can't feel your legs, it's pretty drastic, And so I really understood what he's been going through for the last 20 years.
That'd be horrible, yeah.
Yeah. And they wouldn't let me out till I'd pee. So I had to go to the bathroom somehow and pee. And then I came back and I have to pee in this tube. And then I bring it back to the nurse and say, look, I went pee-pee, and you hand it to her. And you're handing your urine to lots of people as you get older. So
That's true. Yeah.
no, you go to a urologist and they go, "Will you please pee in this?" And then leave it on the toilet seat, on the toilet, whatever. And so you go in there and then you leave it in there. You've literally left your urine in another room, but it's quickly swept up by elves who take it off and look at it. And, the strange thing I have about my pee? God, are we getting to this? The strange thing about my pee is for the last 20 years, every time they gave me a pee test, a urine test, they would then put one of these strips in to see if there was any blood. Then every time they put the strip in, it comes out that there's blood. So now I go to this urologist who's a better urologist than the rest of them are, and he sticks it in, and, oh, yeah, it says you have pee. Hold on a second. He takes a drop of it, puts it under a microscope, and says, you don't have any blood in your pee. We don't know what that is. We don't know why it turns. And it's been doing this for 20 years.
That's weird.
Or as long as I've been taking those tests. Yeah. So it's kind of weird. So anyway, what you got is a hernia. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And does it hurt?
It hurt yesterday, yeah.
Does it hurt badly, or is it just uncomfortable?
It's just uncomfortable. Like sometimes when it gets really bad, the pain will radiate around to the lower back.
Oh, really? That bad?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, you're going to have to take care of that, I guess. I'm not taking care of it.
I keep thinking I'm going to die first, so I won't have to deal with it.
Well, yeah, I have the hernia, and I have the leukemia. I'm a big leukemia guy. But I have a kind that you don't die from, you die with. And I had prostate cancer, but it was a very minor one, and they took care of it. And the last test I had, I'm still good to go. So, I don't know what's going to get me. I bet it's going to be my kidneys. I think, because I have some not good numbers for my kidneys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're not bad enough that I'm going to, have to have dialysis or anything like that. But I see that as a major problem down the road as I get older, so.
Yeah, as you get older, they don't want to give you an organ transplant. So
yeah, that's the other thing. I want an organ transplant. You can't have one. You're too old.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you put it in, and then when I die, you take it out and give it to somebody else? Huh? That sounds like a good idea, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No.
I know some people that are on dialysis. Boy, that's like they go in 3 times a week, and it takes 4 hours.
Wow. Well, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I wrote our good friend Lori Thompson today to make sure she's okay. And here's the message. I'll read you the message I sent her. I'll bet chemo is a hoot. It's just a thrill ride. That's how I started my note. Because the last time I heard from her, which was about a week ago, she then had a terrible case of laryngitis from the chemo and couldn't talk.
Wow.
For someone who does what we do, not being able to talk is pretty dreadful. So I felt bad for her on that one. I just, I wouldn't.
Chemo is it's so toxic. So I guess I didn't know it could cause laryngitis.
Here's the thing that I figure, that if we lived another 50 years, let's say, they would probably say chemo's too drastic. They do it because they think that's all they've got in their kit, and they really should come up with other stuff.
Well, it's horrible, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a horrible solution. What you're doing is you're going in poisoning the body, and you're killing the cancer cells, but the patient isn't doing too well either.
No, you're killing all the good cells and.
Yeah. But I mean, like what I had, I when I went through my stuff, I did radiation for 5 sessions, and then I did the prostate seeds, which took 1 day in the surgery room, 1 hour probably in the surgery room. And then that was it, you know. And I think because I had it done in New York, they went for non-invasive stuff. I mean, stuff that wouldn't knock you out terribly. So if they gave me chemo for the prostate, that would have just made me a vegetable for, a month or a month and a half or however long it takes. And for what she had, she probably could have gotten seeds. She had a tumor in the neck. And I read that for the tumor in the neck, they can use the seeds. But she's not in New York. She's in Florida. And down there, you ask somebody to do prostate seeds, they say, oh, we don't do that here. They act like it's a bad thing to do. They say, we don't do that here. Their answer is they don't know how to do it there because it's something that takes a bit of studying. And here in New York, I go to Mount Sinai, and I got a doctor who pretty much wrote the book on prostate seeds. And they work. I mean, apparently my cancer hasn't come back yet, knock on wood. So, what else is wrong with you? Anything else? What else?
Other than that, I'm good, I think.
Did you go get your eyes done?
We're waiting for the appointment. They're backed up.
I got to tell you, easiest thing that you will ever have, okay?
Well, that's what I hear.
Yeah. It's just when you go away from it, you're going to say, why was I worrying about it? You don't feel a thing. Maybe you feel a little uncomfortable for 15 minutes because that somebody's poking around in your eye. And
I guess they give you some twilight thing when they do that.
No, not really.
Kind of awake.
No, all they do is they deaden the eyeball.
Okay.
And so they go in there. They're going in with a knife and pulling out a lens and putting in a new lens. All right, and for a moment, for about 30 seconds, your one eye, you can't see anything out of. And then all of a sudden, they put in the lens, and it's crystal clear. It's a wonderful operation if I can pre-sell it. So,
okay.
So don't worry about it. So this whole episode has been making Bubbles feel better about his various problems. Who knows what other problems you have? They want me to go in for a CT scan. I'm not going to explain why, because I've explained it before. For stuff that I know I don't have. It's two nodes in my lung, one of which is 9 years old. If they're 9 years old and they haven't done anything, they're considered to be, benign.
Dormant.
And the other one I have is a kind of, what do you call it, node that very rarely, if ever, becomes cancerous. And it could even double in size, triple in size, and it still isn't cancerous. So why should I go back for another CT
leave
scan?
It alone, yeah,
so they can find something wrong with my lung? I mean, it's ridiculous, And when you get to be my age, they don't let it. If I was 50 and I went to my doctor and my blood work was kind of iffy on whatever, he wouldn't say go to a doctor and find out if it's leukemia, but he immediately sent me to a doctor for leukemia because at my age they figure it could be deadly, So they don't take any chances when you're my age. So I'm going to doctors all the time, some of which are useless.
Yeah.
I have neuropathy. You kind of get dull and your feet kind of get numb, okay? And it throws off your balance and things like that. But, I've got this neurology guy who's terrible. He's horrible. And I still go to him every 6 months, But he's horrible. So, whatever, This is what happens when you get old, Larry.
We're making full use of Medicare.
What are you, 72, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, 72? Okay. Well, wait till you get to be my age. Ooh, is that a fun ride?
Well, what's the age that people die now? That's thinking about that a lot lately.
It's like 77 for
really?
men. Yeah, but I'm my statistic is, I'm 85 now, and so that that's part of that whole average. You could die much younger than 77, or you could die much older than 77. I kept worrying about that. You know what hit me is when I hit 59, because that's the age at which my father died.
Oh, okay.
And so it kind of, I said, am I going to outlive my father? Well, now the question is, will I outlive my mother? And she lived to be 100. So
You're going to know 100.
well, they've said to me, "Hey, your mother made it to 100. Maybe you'll make it to 100." I'm going, well, that doesn't mean I'm going to make it to 100 because she did. She was just too stupid to die.
Did she do anything like she never smoked or?
She smoked. She said she smoked. Okay, what she would do is she would bring the smoke into her mouth, not inhale it, and then blow it out.
Mm-hmm.
And to her, that was smoking. So really, I can't say she was ever a smoker. Okay, and she was never one of these kind of people who go, "Oh, I got to have a cigarette." Anybody got a cigarette? Because she wasn't addicted to them because she never inhaled them. So I did them. I did them for 20 years. You remember me when I smoked?
Yeah, that's so weird that you were smoking.
Yeah. But I think I stopped in time because people who smoke die much younger. There's just no question about it. If you're out there listening to us and you're smoking, I'm sorry, you've got a problem.
Robert Palmer.
It could probably kill you. You younger. Because I look at like when movie stars used to die, and they were dying like at 65, 59, around in that.
Bogey, I think, was 57.
Yeah. And what the reason was, they were all smokers.
Yeah.
And they did it at a time when nobody thought it was a big deal. It turned out to be a big deal, but they didn't think it was a big deal. And I just, I really think today, if you don't smoke, most people don't smoke anymore. We just made it kind of, what could we call it, objectionable to be a smoker. So we didn't even have to make a law against them. All we had to do was say, hey, we mind very much if you smoke here.
Oh, remember? They used to smoke on airplanes.
Movie theaters, you smoked.
And, the punchline, all the comedy. You'd come home from those clubs just reeking of that crap.
I used to come home from some clubs, absolutely. I could smell after I'd quit smoking, I could smell the tobacco on my clothing.
Yeah.
But, in movie theaters, I was so glad when I quit smoking because I could see a whole movie without having to leave several times in order to, get a cigarette. And then you'd smoke, and you'd smoke really fast out in the lobby or in front of the theater, and then you run back into the theater, and then you'd ask the person with you, did I miss anything? So anyway, smoking, doctors used to smoke in their office while they were telling you what was wrong with you.
They used to recommend cigarettes on ads in the 50s. I heard.
9 out of 10 doctors recommend Luckies. Well, which 10
Johnny Carson was a big smoker and died of emphysema.
Yep. And, the thing is, people say, well, there's only like a 20% chance you'll get cancer from smoking. No, but there's also another 20% chance you'll get emphysema and another 20% chance you'll get a heart problem. And, by the time you're through, there's about a 80% chance cigarettes will kill you, So I'm glad I quit when I did.
Yeah, I never tried it, but it sounds like it must be a very strong addiction.
Well, nicotine is very addictive. In the beginning, you smoke. I don't know why I first smoked. I guess I just felt a little better when I had a cigarette, Made me kind of have a little bit more energy or something like that. But then after a while, the only reason you're smoking is to keep from getting nicotine withdrawal. That's the only reason you smoke. You don't smoke because you enjoy the cigarette. You know, all those people in those old ads for Luckies, you can go online like to YouTube. Well, I'll have to explain YouTube to you later.
Yeah.
And they've got ads, for cigarettes. And you just watch them, and everybody says, "Oh, wow, this is just so wonderful," They're like in this la-la land with their cigarette. So, yeah, it was ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. But what else did we do?
Who's the worst smoker we knew? Did I read some people smoke 4 packs a day.
I did 2 packs a day.
Jesus, that's a lot. That's 40.
I also did Sherman cigarettes. That may have saved my life, however. Sherman cigarettes there were no additives in the tobacco. What they put in tobacco and cigarettes is glycerin, as an example, to make the cigarette continually stay lit. Okay? So if you remove glycerin, your cigarette keeps going out. Mine kept going out. I had to keep relighting it. I think that may have saved my life because I think the glycerin was the main carcinogen in tobacco. But I'm not a doctor, so I can't tell you. But smoking is bad for you folks, no matter what they say. And if you say, well, I'll quit next week. No, quit now. And I did it in a very easy way. One day somebody came on the show who was giving out some breathalyzer tests to see how your lungs have been reacting to cigarette smoking. And I had no deleterious effects from cigarette smoking, but then this guy came in and gave me the test and said, well, you really should quit because you got some impairment in your lungs. And I went, I guess this is the day I quit.
Wow.
And I went out, I got this stuff they had on, I don't know if they still sell it, called Bantron. What it did is it put nicotine in your system, but you didn't inhale it, and it wasn't carcinogenic in the pill form. And then whenever I wanted a cigarette, I took one of those. Well, after about 2 or 3 days, I didn't need them anymore. And, I just said, I'm doing this a day at a time. And eventually now, how many years have passed? I quit when I was 40, so I'm 45 years ago, I quit smoking.
Jesus.
But you were there when I quit.
Yeah.
I used to have an ashtray in the studio, and by the time I was through with the show, it was completely full.
God.
I don't know if you remember that.
I don't know.
You'd have to go. When I quit was when I was at the Quake. Okay, so. But once I quit, I just, one day I woke up and I said, something, I just don't consider myself a smoker anymore. Because every day was a hard day, and then it got less and less difficult. And one day I just said, gee, I haven't been smoking for several years. I can't imagine smoking now. And I really can't. So the only thing I smoke a little bit of is weed,
I think the number of smokers is under 20% now of the population.
Really? But you know where the cigarette companies still make money? Foreign countries.
Yeah, they smoke like crazy in Europe.
Yeah, and they still do. In India, they smoke a lot. So, they still make money off of it in other countries. Here in this country, it's just, one of the things that I think maybe was a problem is that the cost of cigarettes got so prohibitive because they kept adding taxes after taxes on them that you couldn't afford it anymore. I mean, I understand a carton of cigarettes now is what, $12, $13?
Yeah, that's almost, I think there's 20 a pack. That's pretty expensive.
Yeah, but is it even that low? I don't know how much they cost now.
I think around $15.
Really, something like that. So if you've got a 2-pack a day habit, after 5 days, you've spent $15. Well, I should look it up here on how much. Let's see here, how much. I can't type anymore. How much does a carton? How much does a carton of cigarettes cost? Okay. How much is cigarettes? How much does a carton of cigarettes cost? And it says, "Oh, excuse me, You ready for this?"
Mm-hmm.
I know I was boring people doing this process, but I got to do it for Bubs, and we just hit our 25-minute mark here. So we got to go. A carton of cigarettes. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep everybody in suspense. They're going to have to listen next week to get the answer, okay?
It's a cliffhanger.
It's a cliffhanger. Hey, thanks, Bubs. I appreciate it.
Sure. Yeah.
Ladies
I'll
and...
light up while we wait.
Yeah, light up if you smoke if you got them. Okay, bye-bye.
Now in its 10th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Oh boy, thanks, Bubs. I will keep you in suspense. Next week, you will get the answer to that question of how much a carton of cigarettes costs. Although a lot of you who still smoke know how much it is, but we saw it and we were amazed by how much. We were also very glad we quit smoking as well. But anyway, sorry the blank picture there for a while before I put up Bub's picture. See, he doesn't do videos, so I have to put up a slide that, this thing here. Wait a minute, this little thing here, and then I have to run his audio. So, I forgot to do that. I forget a lot of things now. As I get old, I just forget stuff. Okay, leave me alone. So today I get a call from my landlord. He said, "Hi, this is your landlord, whatever the company is," and they said, "Oh, you haven't sent in your renewal, your lease renewal." And I said, "No, I haven't." And they said, "Is there a reason why?" And I said, "Yes, because you didn't give me a lease renewal. You gave me a renewal for some kind of price that is not the price that was dictated by the courts." And I said it was I couldn't get it right for a moment. I said 507, and I said 507 cents, and then I said now it's 513. He says, "Yeah, I see that here." Mm-hmm. Well, I said the lease doesn't reflect the lease. See, it's supposed to be based on the lease, and the lease I have says $500.07, and then they raise it every couple of years because they can get that, but I just said, and he said, "Well, let me go look." So he went, and he comes back to the phone and he says, "I'll have to call you back." Let me see. I'm looking. This is me looking at my watch. Well, they haven't called back yet, so it goes on like that, and on like that, and on like that, and it's ridiculous. Okay, let me admit everybody, and I will not forget to turn on the Zoom so that everybody can see everybody else. There's Charlie Wallace. There's Josh. There's Kevin's guest. There's Brian Neary.
Yes.
There is some kind of a ugly thing looking in the camera. Yeah. Oh boy. Hello there. How are you doing, Adrian?
Good.
How you doing?
Good.
Oh, okay. Right there. There I am, and you'll be able to
Subscribed.
Did you see did you see yourself, by the way? Do you see yourself on camera?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Good. I'm glad you did. Okay.
Okay, put the earplugs back on.
It's going in.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you how lovely she is around her. Okay. So.
Yeah.
She's amazing, though. Really
Yes.
amazing. You're very lucky, and for a father late in life, you really scored. Okay.
Daddy?
Yes.
Where's my colored pencils and stuff?
Everything's upstairs, baby.
What?
You go get it.
What'd she?
No.
What'd she ask for? What was that?
She's asking for her pencils, color pencils. They got her a new notebook, so
Oh,
she
okay.
wants Daddy to go upstairs and go get it. But no.
No.
No, you can bring that.
I'm with the men here. Okay.
Daddy's
So I'm not
busy. Daddy's busy doing business. Okay. Yeah.
We're entertaining the world right now.
Are we? You really think so? Okay.
Sure.
Well, I'll buy into that. Okay. All right. Okay. Anyway, so how are you doing, Josh?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. You know, for an old guy, I'm surviving. Now I have a pain in my side, and I don't know what it is. I've had it for a couple of days now. Must have stretched something. And Jeff Stein, are you there, Jeff?
I think I am,
But your camera isn't on.
but my camera's not on. I don't know why.
Let's see
Right,
if I can
scroll up
send you a thing here that says allow. Let's see here. Put in waiting room now. Remove. Usually there was a thing here that said that I could. Ask to start video. There we go. Let's see if did you get a message from me just then, Jeff?
Yes.
It might
How
tell
about
you.
this?
It might tell you where to click onto it. Did it say?
Just,
I don't know. You're not there.
yes.
And
I'll reset it.
yeah. Okay. Reset it. Anyway, hello everybody. How are you? And how are you, Josh? Again, you're okay? Doing okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. And I'm drinking my coffee here. You know what happens? I make a cup of coffee like last night, and then I put it in the refrigerator, and then I drink it cold. And Marjorie can't figure out why I do that, and I go, I love cold coffee. It's like iced coffee, you know.
It's good.
I agree.
Very refreshing. You can drink it down a lot because it's not hot. You know, it's cool. It's good. Anyway,
I do the same thing.
yeah, you do the same thing. Yeah.
I make my pot the night before or for a couple nights, and then I put them in the refrigerator in the morning. I even toss in some ice, and then I'm gone. So
Yeah, you make your pot the night before. Yeah, really? You roll the joints and then take them to work.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Knew you were gonna say that.
Oh, I had to. It's my job. I hate my shirts now. They get this thing where they start getting stretchy.
Can I come a colored
I guess
pencil?
I should change them every day, shouldn't I? Adrian? Oh, I saw your dance recital. You looked really good. You looked
solo.
really good.
I sent him your solo, the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's good.
No, you want me to bring it up now and we can play it on the air?
Play it for the world.
No.
The world to see.
Well, actually, wasn't that on YouTube? Was it on YouTube? No.
Oh,
No, it's on loom.com or something. I don't know.
What's loom.com?
I don't know. Somebody, one of the moms grabs it like it's 10 minutes after she performed. All of a sudden she sends it to us. So like all the group ones and everything. Pretty good.
Wow, that's good. Yeah. So anyway, this is Friday, and let's see here. Has our president done anything unusual today? He actually did, didn't he? He did something that I wanted to talk about, and then I forgot about
He
it.
took over the Kennedy Center.
Yeah, that's it.
mm-hmm.
He fired everybody at he's firing everybody at the Kennedy Center, and guess who's going to run the Kennedy Center?
Mr. Culture himself.
Mr. Culture himself. Yes, Donald Trump is going to be running.
Oh,
Yeah, going to be running it. So, Jeff, we still can't see you. Jeff,
Huh?
we still can't see you.
Oh, God.
Go down to where it says
No.
video. Go down to where it says video. You see on the bottom of your screen, it says video. Do you see that?
No.
Along the bottom, it says audio, video, participants, chat, and so on.
you have to move your mouse, I think.
You see that? You see it, Jeff? Jeff?
No. You don't
You don't
What's
see
Bottom
it.
left corner. Bottom left corner.
Bottom left corner. Right next to the microphone, there's a camera.
Across from Charlie.
Yeah. But might not be the same on his because it's not the same on mine. So, No, you're just turning your audio on and off there, Jeff. You're not turning on your
I'm trying
video.
everything on the left, and that's all I get.
On the left, there's an audio, but then move over one from audio to the next one. What does it say?
Oh, maybe that.
You know one thing you could try? Call Pam.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, go call Pam. Call
I'll get her. I'll wake
Pam.
her up.
Anyway, so he's taking over the Kennedy Center. He's going to run it. Hasn't he got enough on his plate being president of the United States?
Hey, get on.
Wait a
No,
minute.
he wants to play golf. They must have a golf course at the Kennedy Center.
Maybe. I don't know. Oh, the thing I mentioned last night that I was assailed for because you said it was an old thing that he did at the American Prayer Service, talking about the Garden of Heroes. You said he did that a couple of years ago. Well, he hasn't come up with anything new because he did say that yesterday. He did say that yesterday at the. Let me mute him.
Yeah. Tom said that, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, the fact was that it was yesterday at the I was right, at the American Prayer Service or whatever it is, and that was his. He decided that he wants a garden of I guess of heroes.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's what.
I don't know if it was today, but they asked him. They asked Trump, what did he think about Elon Musk being on the cover of Time behind the White House desk? Was that right?
Is that the cover of Time this week?
I think that's what they said.
Wow.
Maybe I'm wrong. Let me check.
Does Time want to get audited or something?
It's when he was talking to the Japanese guy. So I don't know.
Is it an actual picture of him behind the desk? It's not photoshopped?
No, it must have been photoshopped. Don't take my word for it. I act like Phil now. Phil or Alan.
Let me look up Time magazine. Maybe I can show it to the audience. Time magazine. Oh, well, there's. Is that Trump behind the? No, Total Magazine's $30. This? No, that's Trump behind the desk. Okay. So that's not it. I don't see anything with. There
we go.
Where?
Got the audio to work.
Oh, he got the audio. He got the video
I got
to work.
the video to work.
Pam got the video to work. Let's see here. I don't see the thing of Musk behind the desk, but
yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I saw something about that, but maybe.
Yeah.
I got Kevin. What's going on? Do you having a rave in there or what?
Kevin, you didn't pay your light bill.
He's raving out.
I set off my epilepsy.
Oh, geez. If you have epilepsy, turn us off right now.
Hang on. I'm just resetting. I'm resetting my damn Alexa thing.
No, here we go. Joy Nelson. Let me see. Oh, yeah, Joy Nelson. We know that.
Yeah, we know
Joy.
Right, and we know Charlie Wallace.
I'm already here. That's got to be some.
That's got to be somebody wrong. Okay, let me get rid of them. Here we go. Remove. There we go. Remove. Okay. All right. There we go. I removed them in time. Joy, are you there?
I am here.
Okay, Joy.
Hold on. I had to disconnect YouTube. Otherwise, we'd have that background. Here we go. Okay.
Zoom is accessing your screen. What is that all about? I don't know. Anyway, we're okay. I don't think anybody's screwed with us here. Now we lost Joy again. Joy, you got to.
It's me. I'm trying to figure out.
Turn your
FaceTime HD camera. I mean, that's what I did.
Turn your video on.
That's what I've been trying
One
to
night
do.
I should just do a whole show where I tell people how this whole thing operates. Hey, Joy, I don't want to make you feel
We'll all forget
depressed,
the next day
but Jeff's
anyway.
got a picture now. You know,
it won't turn on. It's like
there it
there
is.
I hit it like 3 times.
Did you really? Well, maybe you shouldn't have hit it. You know.
I hit my trackpad really, really hard.
Yeah. Well, anyway. So there was one other piece of news, and I can't remember what it was, but I was amazed by just the stupidity of it all. I mean, it's gotten to the point where we have this stupid. You know what I decided? I told Marjorie this tonight. You know the reason he won the election and the reason he's so popular? Because he's as stupid as the half of America. Really, I'm serious. He's as stupid as his audience is and as the people who voted for him. Because if you were an enlightened person who votes, you wouldn't vote for Donald Trump. You might vote for one of the third-party candidates or something like that, or you might not vote at all. But you wouldn't vote for Donald Trump. It just doesn't make sense, you know. Even
It's like the
Adrian,
meme going around that says Trump, the Gulf of America is the gap between Trump's ears.
We don't have a picture on you, Kevin.
Yeah, I know.
Because his lights were flashing.
I didn't want to give Brian a.
Where were those lights flashing from? Where were those
I'm
lights?
just trying to reset my Alexa thing,
Oh,
but it's not cooperating.
Oh boy, here we are. We're what, 7 hour and 15 minutes, 16 minutes into the show, and nobody can make anything work tonight.
Oh,
Maybe
I'm here.
it's a Zoom
I'm here.
issue.
I'm just not looking at my ugly mug. That's all.
Oh, I see. Okay, all right. Well,
Might be a Zoom issue.
yeah. Also, a court today said that he could not close down USAID. That there has to be a hearing on the whole deal.
They took the sign down.
They took the sign down, but I think they got to put it back up again. You know, they had these like what can we call them? Like big giant letters that were, you know, attached to the stone.
Building identification.
And they were just taking them off today. And all of a sudden, the judge comes down with this, so I guess they got to put them back up again. You know. But I'm beginning to believe that almost everything he's signed is not going to go through because it's going to be turned down by one court or another.
Yep, it's happening. It's been happening.
You know, and I guess he's doing it so he can say to his minions, "Well, I tried." You know, and isn't he supposed to meet with Putin now? Isn't that the latest thing?
As well.
Yeah. So.
He's going to take him to McDonald's.
He's probably going to tell him, look, we'll take over Siberia. Nobody's using it, you know. So. John Redshaw entered the waiting room. John Redshaw.
Posts a lot on.
He posts a lot. Let's see if he's here. Let's see if it's really him. Until
He's
we
been
find
on
out.
the show before, but
He has been on the show before?
yeah, a long time ago.
It says Redshaw is joining. And I have my picture up so that if it is not John Redshaw, it could be that it's not.
About us having to see it.
Yeah, I know.
When they take this long to do it, I begin to question whether they are doing it. Okay, so I will remove it without reporting it to Zoom.
If he's in the chat, he'll say something.
Oh, okay, all right.
That he wants to come on.
Let me see here. I gotta find that. Here we go. Is he there, John Redshaw? No, he says. He says no.
No.
Okay. Hey, we found you out, guy. Yeah, you aren't John Redshaw. Okay.
Probably the same guy who was Charlie.
That was
Probably the same guy who said he was Charlie.
Yeah, could be. Anyway, okay. Thanks, John. You don't have to say no anymore. It says no. Okay, good, John.
You should just set up a
How come somebody
challenge
smart
question.
doesn't join the show? Like
Yeah,
Elon
there you go.
Musk?
Set up some kind of a challenge question.
I'd like you
Josh
to go
was saying.
one night without putting down something about Trump and his friends. One night, just one night. That's all I ask.
You were just talking about him.
It's
I
my
didn't bring them
show.
up.
It's my show, and then I can have hopes about what happens on this show, which is you avoiding putting down one of Trump or his minions for one night.
And you like these people?
No,
Oh, okay.
I don't want to indicate that I like them. Okay, let me put the group back on here. So anyway,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
now we got a kid doing their homework. Jeez almighty.
11, 12. Can you put lines on the outside?
What?
Oh. Sorry, we're doing homework.
No, we aren't.
Oh, I thought it was Donald Trump learning how to draw.
Oh, there we go again. There we go again. Oh
He
boy.
can't help himself.
Well, let's have some intelligent discussion. Let's basically talk to the rest of the panel. Oh, Mike entered the waiting room. Now there is a Mike.
Mike Hunt? Mr. Hunt?
No.
Her nephew Jessel.
Mike. If it were Mike Chisholm, he would say Chisholm, I think. But
Yep.
Yeah. Mike's is Mike Chisholm, yeah.
Okay, so I'll remove them.
Gee, somebody's really bored tonight.
Right.
Who?
Somebody's really bored.
Me?
I just won't take any more calls. This is a nice group of people. So
Thank you.
yeah, Joy, how do you think things have been going in the first? Do you realize it's only been 2.5 weeks that he's been president?
It feels like an eternity. I was just watching like some of the podcasts that I watch. One of them is like Really American. That guy's pretty funny. And I just heard, and I think it's like day old news. They already fired that like one of the 25-year-old guys because he was like very, very racist, openly racist. And they're kind of wondering.
That was one of what's his name?
Like the top Doge,
Huh?
like one of the top Doge picks, and even on Fox, they were starting to question if, like, there's no way
young
he didn't
kids
know about
working
this
over.
guy.
I know they rehired him.
What?
They
Yeah,
did?
they rehired him tonight.
Already?
They fired him and then rehired him. Okay.
Because he posted some racist stuff, right?
Super racist stuff.
Yeah, they got to keep him in the club, man.
But didn't Trump fire him?
Yeah, but Elon overruled.
No, I think.
But Elon
he
overruled him.
So far, Elon's outlasted everybody's prediction. Trump being Trump. It's like he's going to wear a thin really fast. I've been hearing that for.
Well, you know what he does have in Elon, somebody he can blame everything on.
But he can't do anything without his say-so, without his power, without his okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, the buck stops with him.
Well, yes and no. As long as he is there, he can blame this stuff on him and say, "I didn't do it. This is him and his."
You approved it.
Yeah.
But you approved it.
Well.
Yeah.
He's still, it takes he's able to divert
He's
the
saying,
blame.
I don't do anything without Trump's full approval. So,
This is going to be just an absolute, every day. Come on. When Biden was president, how often do we hear from Biden? Maybe once a week, twice a week? And then it was to have a press conference and tell you something, and then it was
they
goodbye.
really didn't want you to hear from Biden. He's been on decline.
But there's no reason we should have to hear from Trump every day either.
No, no. And the fact is that a lot of this, if and we're saying this to the press again, if you guys would just ignore him and only save talking about him for the really important stuff, okay, you would be doing much better, okay? You would be killing him because he lives and thrives on publicity and on you talking about him. And if you don't talk about him, it's kind of like he's kind of like Beetlejuice, If you don't say his name,
taking all the fun out of the job,
if you don't say
it's
his
like,
name
what's the
3
point?
times, he'll go away, So, anyway, how do you feel, Josh? I'm going to drag Josh into this kicking and screaming. Josh?
I don't think the media is, covering it the way they should be, and I don't think Democrats are responding the way they should be.
How do you think the Democrats should respond to all this?
I think that they are continually losing a game with Trump because he's the only one playing the game. So I don't see why they don't take the things that he wants to do and do what he would do, which is turn it around and tell people how it would affect them or hurt them. I think what they do is they fight it in a way that doesn't really connect with a large group of the public. And
They
whether
continue
we
to
like that
complain.
or
Yeah.
not, I think that's the case. And what they need to understand is that the power they need to have success is going to have to come from the people. So they need to stop fighting Trump the way that they are, and they need to convince the people, So he does things that don't make any sense, and then they'll talk about it being racist or, these things. And, maybe it is. I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I'm saying that stuff isn't working. So, what they need to do is, some of these retaliatory things and such that he does are so petty, but they could find a way to play it. I mean, I don't understand why, the day after the aircraft incident there in D.C., because he's petty, and it was unrelated to that, but because he's petty, he has the new Secretary of Defense kick the Washington Post and the New York Times, I think, and the NBC News out of the Pentagon, right? He kicks them out of their offices, and they're not allowed to be in the Pentagon anymore. So if I were a Democrat, I would go on TV and I would say yesterday a United States Army helicopter flew into the side of a commercial airplane, and the next day the President of the United States kicked NBC News, the New York Times, and the Washington Post, the three most investigative journalism units that have been covering him for the last several years, out of the Pentagon. So what does the president have to hide about a U.S. Army helicopter flying into the side of a commercial plane that he doesn't want you to know about, that these organizations would have uncovered? What does the president know about this, and what is he trying to hide from you about it? Why? Why is he doing something like that? Why would he not kick out his friendly press, but he kicked out unfriendly press, people that he sees as unfriendly, because they consistently investigate him? I would like to know what the president is hiding about what happened with this aircraft crash. Now, I don't think it had anything to do with that, but I think they can just say that. They just need to get in people's brains with the stuff that he does. Because does he ever say anything that's true? He just makes shit up all the time. He plays a game all by himself, okay?
Yeah.
So you have to get people to think, man, why? Well, why did the president do that? I mean, but instead they say, well, it's because he this, that, and people are like, oh, no, they're just whining. Well, then don't come at it like that, Come at it in a different way and make it different. I think Democrats should start finding someone that can talk to the public now, and it's not going to be Chuck Schumer, okay, or somebody like that. And I think for the next 4 years, they should go around the country and they should hold rallies for the next 4 years, and they should find someone who can do it, okay, like Gavin Newsom, someone who can look good on camera and talk in a complete sentence, and people will look at them and think, that's not so bad, and they should do it for 4 years. Chuck Schumer reading from that paper at his Senate desk.
Well, what I was going to say,
isn't
one of the things
going to work.
I was going to say,
Standing in front of a crowd going, "We will win," is just ridiculous.
While you were talking, I wanted to bring up the fact that I just think that they should shut Schumer up. Okay,
Yeah.
I think he does no good. Him with those glasses down there, where he's going, I'm
old.
No, but
They
he
just
does
look
that on
old.
purpose. He does that on purpose. That's his style. He thinks,
Right.
and it's horrible. I think it's time for Chuck Schumer to retire.
But all those guys look old, and then you look at Trump, and he's got Zuckerberg, he's got all these young, guys like that are on that.
So
side.
why are there not Democrats on television agreeing to go on Fox News, doing everything they can do to get on the Today Show, The View, and all that? And why are they not saying, folks, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, I don't want to scare you, but I'm telling you right now that Elon Musk is coming for your Social Security. He is coming for your Medicare. He is coming for your Medicaid. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to go to your mailbox right now. I want you to log on to your banking app, and I want you to see if your check and your benefits are there. Because I'm telling you, these could be the last ones.
Yep.
I'm
I think
telling
they're
you,
trying
these
to
could be
run it
the
down.
last time you ever get this money. Because if he wakes up tomorrow and he decides that this is not worth having around, he could take it away from you. I think he's going to do it. He's going to take it and just keep saying it. You could say that for 6
Well,
months.
they couldn't.
So what?
Because
And they
he's
should
using
say that.
the
They should go to their rallies and they should have Gavin Newsom or somebody else go up and he should just keep saying that. Can you believe it, folks? Can you believe they are going to stop paying your Social Security any day now? Any day now could be the last time you ever get Social Security. If you have a doctor's appointment, I want you to call your doctor and I want you to move it up till tomorrow. As soon as they can get you in, I want you to go to the ER if that's what you have to do, because next week Medicare could be gone. I need you to understand. I mean, they should be hitting that non fucking stop with a propaganda train until he cries fucking mercy.
Yeah, but they're not
Because
going.
that's what he did for 4 years.
But they're not going
Yeah.
to, and that's why
And
the
that's-
They
Democrats
were.
lose. That's why the Democrats lose, is because they don't do that.
I
they're
think
sitting back,
using
they're
it as a
using the
strategy to
same
win.
Joy? Yes, Joy?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think they're using it as a strategy to win, because once he burns it down, it's like, hey, look what they did. Now you've got to vote for us. Don't you want an alternative? Not that they did anything to stop it, but I was thinking this was their strategy all along when they saw they were losing. That they're just not going to change. They're unwilling to change. Their messaging stinks.
Who, the
And they
Democrats
figure-
you're talking about?
The Democrats,
Yeah,
the DNC, they figure, let them burn it down. They're going to come running back to us. We don't have to change anything. We could still kowtow to the corporate interests. We don't have to do a thing. They're going to just be, everyone's going to be so sick of it. They're going to come running back to us. You watch.
Yeah.
And I just, yeah, it is. So Time Magazine has their next cover. They have it in it. It's Time Magazine, NBC News, everything reports. Time Magazine's provocative cover puts Elon Musk behind Trump's desk. And that's the cover for this one. So
I couldn't find that cover.
no, I Googled Elon Musk Time Magazine cover and it's there just 10 hours ago.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I mean, you're right, but I mean, the Democrats they got to change their message. They just got a new head of the DNC, a younger guy, but that isn't going to help because he's not going to change the message. And you're right, Josh. They got to change the message. They got to change their message towards scaring the crap out of people.
Yes, I don't even. They can take one little tiny thing, and I want it exaggerated 500 million times worse than it is, and I want everybody in the party on TV saying it every day.
But
If
you
you
know
go on
something?
television and I'm the leader of the Democratic Party and you don't say President Musk is coming for your Social Security at least 5 times during the interview, I swear to God, I will raise money myself and I will primary your fucking ass from our own party. I mean, if they ask you about the fucking Super Bowl, I want you to say, I don't know, I can't watch it because my mom and dad's Social Security might be gone by then, and I might have to be at their house, like feeding them scraps of dog food or whatever because they're poor now. I mean, make shit up.
But the problem is that another thing you've got going here, which is a major problem, is that the networks and the news outlets are running scared because he's suing all of them. He's suing all of them. He's suing CBS. He's going after NBC. He's saying, I want to get CBS's license. Well, CBS doesn't have a license, okay? Only the stations they own have a license. The network itself does not have a license to operate. And that's another big lie that he's perpetrating. But he's trying to scare everybody. just by suing these people, even though they're frivolous lawsuits, he's intimidating the news operations, and they're just careful about what they do and say.
It's not only the news.
What?
He's not only the news, like I was trying to say a few minutes ago, is that Trump is trying everything he possibly can. He's looked at, what he can challenge, and he's going to challenge every freaking thing. He's done this for the last 2 weeks. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. They don't even look to see if it's okay or not. He's just going to do it and start all these lawsuits. And of course, going back to the Democrats, the problem with them is they're just going to sit back and wait and we'll take him to court. We'll take him to court. We'll take him to court. And that's a long, drawn out process. It takes too fucking long, and he knows it. And that's been his game plan all along.
Wow. Oh, wait a minute.
He's suing private companies that won't end their DEI programs. It's not against the law to have a DEI program, but he's suing them anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
And then you got people putting out lists. Oh, these companies are going DEI. These companies are leaving it. And then people are saying, let's boycott these. Unless he's starting that whole shit of division again.
Here, let me show everybody what you were talking about with the cover on Time Magazine. There it is. With you can't see it. You guys can't see it, but the audience can. It's
he was with the Japanese Prime Minister, whoever it was, but whatever he's called. So, but he was with him, and then the reporters started asking him, "What do you think about the Time Magazine cover?" And he said, "Oh, is Time Magazine still in business? Trying to play it off." But he's going back saying, Elon Musk is finding all this money and all this. So,
well, look, I'm not going to. Okay, let me say some positives here. Okay, I'm not against looking into government waste. I don't think any of us are. I think government waste is something that just kind of happens and grows. It's like a snowball going down a hill, and eventually you have nothing but a lot of government waste, and you got to go through there and pare everything and look at all the way money is being spent. But you don't stop programs because there's too much waste in those programs. You get rid of the waste in those programs. I don't think any of us are against that. Also, the other thing he did this week that I don't know, I want to see how this group feels about it, but he signed a thing, and he shows his big, look, Mommy, I did my report. Holds it up there for people to see. He had a bunch of young girls around him, which he loves, and then he signed a thing saying no more trans males in female sports. Well, I don't know that I disagree with it. Any of you?
yeah.
So he did something good this week, okay?
Yeah, but they said that there's only like a handful of those kind
There
of.
are only 10
You
of
have
them.
over
They're
500,000 female sports events or whatever, females in sports, and there's less than 10.
I think they said 10. There are
10 of them all together, yeah.
The NCAA was able to identify 10 in sports that were doing that. So
But
it's
some of
not
those
like
might
it's not
women transitioning men.
it's not like a big deal. But would anybody disagree with the fact that maybe it's not good for trans women to participate in women's sports because they are guys, and even though they identify as women, they still have all the testosterone of a male. They may have diminished it a bit, but they have all the strength and ability of a male. Okay.
It doesn't affect their character at all, or whoever they want to be. It's just
but I mean, they should be in male sports.
right.
I just remember Billie Jean King beating the pants off of whoever that was, the guy that she.
Riggs.
Bobby Riggs.
Bobby Riggs. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, he was not the world's greatest tennis player either,
Yeah.
But you wouldn't. I asked Marjorie once, would you want to see like who's a male, big male tennis player? Nadal. Okay. Would you want to see if Serena went up against Nadal? Who do you think would win? And Serena was a big, powerful player.
Yeah.
It'd be Nadal would beat the pants off of her. And Marjorie
know.
agreed with me. She
I
said,
don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
See those biceps
But
on
see,
Serena?
that's
Her legs are bigger than
boy.
his.
That's boy versus girl. That's not boy into girl
But everybody,
versus boy.
I mean, they again, Democrats miss the point with this.
Yeah.
They go on CNN and they get asked this question. I would say, you're right, Alex. I would like to congratulate the president for signing an executive order, the one now that I happen to believe is within his power
Right.
because it only withholds federal money to schools who do this. But what I really want to say about this is that your daughter, who you were worried about, rightly so, and I was proud to help support this, she won't have to play against boys when she plays her basketball game this weekend, but unfortunately her grandma and her grandpa probably won't be there to see it because their Social Security is going to be gone. And I don't even know if you're going to be able to make it because the price of gas is going to be so high.
Exactly.
And the president, while he's focused on this issue that I agree is important in the minds of some Americans and is fairly substantial, has chose to take care of this rather than some of his most important promises, such as the price of gas. And heaven forbid if she plays in a tournament this weekend on Saturday morning, if you'd like to go out and eat breakfast with her, and maybe her grandparents, who again won't be there. I don't think you guys will be eating any eggs because ever since Donald Trump became president, the price of those has quadrupled and chickens are dying everywhere. I can't believe it. Everywhere you go, chickens are dying in this country. Chickens
They're
hadn't
eating
died
the
like this for
chickens.
generations, and suddenly this man became the president of the United States, and everywhere I go nowadays, people are talking to me about these dead chickens. So I want to ask, what's the president going to do about gas and dead chickens? I mean, I'm glad that my daughter doesn't have to play against a man in basketball this weekend, but it saddens me that her grandparents can't come see it because they're scared.
Yeah.
They don't
Can't
know
put
if their
gas in the
Social
tank.
Security is going to be there this weekend, and they can't make the 50-mile trip. They just can't do it, Alex. I don't know what we're going to do, but
or
this is something we're going to work on.
Grandpa came down with a touch of the cancer, and now he can't afford to go to the hospital.
I mean, everything that they do, they can find a way to turn that around and twist
Yeah, but you know
it
what
into
the Democrats are
message
going
they
to
want to
say?
put out
You
there.
know what the Democrats are going to say, the big pussies that they are,
That's
is,
not proper.
oh, well, we can't lie like that.
Right.
No, I didn't
That's
tell
the
any
same
lies.
playbook they've
I didn't.
always had.
Did I tell any lies?
No.
Elon Musk is coming. I mean, that's out there. Chickens are in fact dying at a record rate. Eggs are
Eggs
very
are
expensive.
expensive.
Gas hasn't gotten any cheaper since. I mean,
By the way,
see, I didn't
And the
lie
war in
about
Ukraine
anything.
is still there.
by the way, I don't think Trump,
Wait.
Made me mad.
but I don't think that Trump can go after people's Social Security because that's money that we have put in over the years that
But
we
they
are
don't
now
have to know
entitled
that.
to. What?
Well, I
Who
mean,
cares?
they're you're entitled
Say
to it
that
until
it's
they
gonna
cancel
come
the
out
program.
anyway.
But
Oh, if he did that, do you know the hue and cry that would raise? I mean, it would just go crazy.
I know a bunch of seniors that would be on his ass.
I mean, Medicare, they might go after, and they probably will get heat for that, but they could maybe get away with it. But Social Security, no. But it's going to, if they do it, it's going to be a windfall for the insurance carriers who will now carry that other, 20% for a nice, good fee.
I'm just saying they can go on television and radio and they can say exactly what I just said. They didn't tell any lies. It wouldn't matter if they did, but I didn't say anything that was untrue, and that's how you answer the question. I mean, but instead, what they will go on there and do, and they will say, "Oh my God, Alex, this is so wrong, and it is so racist, and these people are living in the wrong body, and they're just so lost, and the president just hates these people, and it's just like Hitler and the Ku Klux Klan." And with my answer, people at least are like, yeah, I don't know, and with their answer, they just roll their eyes. So, I mean. And I'm not necessarily in favor of the fact that this game has to be played, but the game is already being played. So they either need to show up to it and play it or not, which is what they're doing now. So that's the point. I mean, every single action that they're doing and they're taking, I can find an answer for you just like that. And again, they need to find somebody and get them out there now talking about these things about once a month, probably at big rallies somewhere. And they need to have some of these big rallies in red states.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go to the fucking Omaha and have one. I don't care. They get 1,000 people in there, liquor them up and make them go fucking crazy on TV. That's fine.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
I mean, but instead they're gonna act like they're gonna save the whole world from Trump and all that when they gotta understand. I mean, let's just round it all up. It's 51% to 49%. They don't need to save the whole world. They just need to change 2% of the people in the country's minds, and they get everything back that they want and end this nonsense.
Yep.
But they're not. I mean, just make people understand. I mean, I don't understand why they can't go on TV and say, ever since President Trump got elected, planes keep dropping out of the sky and chickens are just fucking dying everywhere I go. I swear to God, I passed 100 dead chickens on my way to work this morning. I mean,
crossing the road.
What's wrong with that?
Here's the thing. According to Drudge, the headline is Musk wants Social Security numbers and bank accounts. Why?
Okay.
Why? Why?
I could go on TV and talk about that all night.
Fed agency is investigating. The Fed agency investigating Tesla has been killed.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine that.
Yeah.
And imagine Musk backing Trump with that promise when he got in office.
I mean, at this point, I don't know if it's safe to walk down the street anymore. You could get run over by one of his cars and no one would even know about it. It would be gone. You would be dead. And I mean,
you want to know something? What's interesting, there's a little headline here. I'm not going to read into the story, but it says that Musk's ex investigated by French persecutors over alleged logarithmic bias. Now, let me say for a moment, for the last year, we've heard people being worried about a stupid little thing called TikTok, that the Russians are going to get all your information. Okay, not the Russians, the Chinese are going to get all your information. And then if you think about it, isn't that exactly what Musk is doing right now?
Yeah.
And it's even worse. He wants your Social Security, and he's going directly for the stuff that counts. So why isn't anybody complaining about that and pointing out that this is what Musk is doing right now?
There are a lot of people complaining about it, just not any of the right people.
Yeah. Well,
like I said, they need to figure someone out, and they need to get them out there, and they need to do it now.
Well,
I would relentlessly attack this for the next 4 years. There's not a single issue I've seen so far that if you give me just a few seconds, I can't twist it around and think of some way to make it look bad for him.
Trump is not a nice guy.
Right. There you go. I mean, like I said, I won't change by saying the things that I said. I won't change my mom and dad's mind.
Listen, I got to
you know what I'm saying. I mean, they'll commit suicide for him.
I got to tell you, every night.
That's not the point.
Every night we watch the monologue from Jimmy Kimmel. Any of you watch Jimmy Kimmel's monologues?
Every night.
They're good, aren't they?
Oh, they're really good.
They're vicious.
They're vicious, but true.
I wonder how long he's going to be around.
Yeah. Him and Seth, both.
Yeah, well, I don't like Seth Meyer that much. To begin with, he insists on doing this really lame Trump impression every night. And it just annoys me because it's a bad impression. It's terrible.
Yeah, well, you don't have to be on a good impression to just get the point across.
Yeah,
either.
but I mean, Kimmel really goes after him. And The Daily Show's doing a pretty good job of it.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't know what he's going to do to try and stop these late night talk shows, but I think he will go after them in some way. He'll go after ABC and try to get them to shut Kimmel up, you know?
Yeah.
And I think at this point, Kimmel would walk rather than kowtow to that.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's been thinking about retiring off of that show anyway. So why not tell the network to go fly a kite that you're not going to, allow yourself to be intimidated. But he's been maybe the harshest critic on television of anybody. Colbert's kind of a lightweight, I think. He tries too hard. But I agree with you. The two top ones are Kimmel and Seth Meyers, although I'm not that fond of Seth Meyers. And Fallon is terrible. He's just terrible. He tries to do political comedy, and he's just not capable of it. But, what should happen, these guys should go on. I don't think Fox keeps Democrats off of Fox. I think if a Democrat calls up Fox and says, hey, I want to be on, I want to, if Schumer said, I want to be on Fox, they'd have him on in a second.
And
right?
they'd probably tear him a new butthole.
Well, they would probably try and tear him a new butthole, but he would have to know how to fight against that.
Right.
But that's the place.
I'll just say what I'll teach him.
That's the point. Same thing.
That's the place for these people to go, not to MSNBC.
Start that shit right there on Fox.
Yes, and just one after the other.
I'm willing to provide lessons for $5 million a year.
Yeah,
you better cut that price down a little bit.
Yeah,
$4,999,000.
Oh, okay, all right. Now, what's her name? Who's our? What's God? I can't remember her nickname.
Governor?
No, she's here in New York. She's a congresswoman.
AOC?
AOC.
No,
That's what I'm trying to think of. I couldn't get the letters in the right order. AOC. She should go on Fox. They'd have her on. Oh, that's sweet.
She'd be a good one to. She'd be a good one to project that kind of message too, I think.
Yes. And why doesn't Bernie Sanders go over there? I mean, I think they would take any of these people, don't you? I mean, even if they felt they were going to sit there and try and make fools out of them or whatever, because quite frankly, people like AOC and even Bernie Sanders are smarter than any of the people over at Fox.
Oh, yeah.
They're doing their own podcasts, their own content. They're not going on mainstream media at this point.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Not that I could see.
Yeah,
I mean, Bernie did a couple of times.
But
if I were running the Democratic Party or something along those lines, a congressional leadership position, not only would I want them to be saying the things that I just told you, but I would be telling those fuckers, if you get a request in your local market to do a YouTube interview or whatever with a guy with fucking 19 followers, you're fucking doing it whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Because that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Okay. If your podunk fucking newspaper wants you to do an interview, you're doing it.
I got to tell you, the smartest thing Trump did during his campaign was to go over and do Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And the stupidest thing Biden ever didn't do was not go on Joe Rogan. Even if Joe Rogan wasn't on his side, I think Biden could have done okay. Even with his mental deficiencies at this point, I think he could have done okay. But I mean, I think they're going to all the wrong places. They got to go where the bodies are, And I don't think that Fox would turn him down. Yes, Alan.
I think Biden should not have ran for president the second term. It would have opened up the area to a lot of good Democrats, and they may have won.
And the best one would have won, or hopefully the best one would have won.
Absolutely.
And probably we would have. The Democrats would have won the race. I think if they just had your governor out in California,
probably.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom.
I think we were too much, even with Biden, kept thinking, well, who can beat him? Who can beat him? Instead of who's going to be a good president.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that Gavin Newsom could have completely made mincemeat out of Trump.
I think so too.
And made a case for decency and honesty.
Not if he was using their strategists and consultants. I mean, that's who was really running the show. They were all Bidens. And Biden wanted to hang on until they were just about putting him to a casket.
Well, the problem with Biden is he's an old guy who isn't up with the modern stuff. okay? And so if somebody came along and told him all that stuff, he might say, oh, that's very nice. Yeah, thank you. But he wouldn't do any of it. He wouldn't do the job that needed to be done to win in this climate. And Trump was willing enough to let younger people tell him what to do. You know, and so he went on Joe Rogan. So he went on podcasts, okay? And that's where the ears were now, and the eyes were now.
I mean, I just don't know why they can't turn these issues into their own game.
Yeah.
I mean, have their rallies. Get someone out there. Just go out there and be like, hey, you know what? For all you Arabs who couldn't vote for our side, because you didn't like our policies in Gaza, how you like it now, fuckers? Don't ever vote for us again. Don't ever call us and ask us for any more fucking money or anything else, because you can all stick it in your ass, okay?
Yeah.
You were done with us, and look what you got now.
Now, let me say this.
Enjoy your Gaza vacation, because apparently that's what you guys wanted.
Let's say that the Democratic Party is listening to us right now. Do you think they'll take what we say, any of what we say, for, as important to be said? You know?
No.
No.
And if they do, I want my $5 million.
You ain't doing this for cheap, are you?
Fuck no.
Well, you
I
look
don't
at
know
what
them
they
shit.
did when when they got that new DNC chair. He's just saying the same old stuff.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
So they haven't learned the lesson at all about the last
They're
election.
never going to change. They're hoping that Trump burns it down, and we're going to be so desperate. We're just going to run the other direction. They're not going to change a thing because that's been their playbook now for how many decades?
Yeah.
Well, they're hoping that Trump does stuff that takes away people's Social Security and all that, because then they've got a good fight to fight. But what they got to do is try and stop him from doing it now, and
They don't want to change.
And get the people behind and away from Trump. I mean, Trump is claiming he has 49% approval rating right now, but he's lying. He said he didn't know which survey that was. But he'll lie like crazy. He'll never tell you the truth. So
Wait till he starts sending troops over to Gaza. Watch his poll numbers drop.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's going to happen. But I do think that there should be some kind of movement. It would be nice if he said, "We'll help you rebuild." That would be nice.
They don't have to say they don't think that's going to happen. They should be on TV saying, if your son or your daughter is 17 years old and you'd like for them to go to college, I'd really encourage you to send them to Canada for that, so they're not in the country for when the president tries to draft them, and send them to Gaza so that he and his friends can make a bunch of money by developing the place after your son or your daughter is dead.
Yes.
That's what they should be on TV saying.
Gee. What a great you got to take over.
I'll vote for you, Josh. Why don't you run?
We do this all fucking night. It's not even really that fucking hard.
Josh should be the head of the DNC, shouldn't he? Everybody who wants to see him head of the DNC, raise your hands. Okay, you got our vote, Josh. You're absolutely right. You couldn't be more right. So, yeah. Anyway, hey, you know something? We've come to the end of yet another week. I thought today was Thursday. This is what happens when you don't work anymore and you don't have anything to do with your life, and you wake up and you go, oh, it's Thursday. And today I did it. I said, it's very important that I know what day it is and everything. And today is Thursday the 7th. And then I went back to sleep. And then later on in the day, I said to Marjorie, well, this is Thursday. It's not Friday. She says, it's Friday. And that's from Marjorie, who has her own problems with memory. So anyway, hey, listen, nice that you all joined me tonight. A lot of good friends here I enjoy hanging out with.
Adrian?
Brian? Where is she? Now she won't come up for the end of the show. She made faces through the whole show. Anyway, Kevin, thank you so much. Brian, thank you. Thank you to Josh. Thank you to our good friend Charlie Wallace. Thank you to Jeff. Thank you, Alan and Joy. Always nice when you call too. What is that?
I don't know.
I don't know. You got a silly daughter there.
9 years old.
Yeah, right. Anyway, everybody give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you. Okay, there they go. That's our citizen panel for tonight, and that's it for tonight. Stay tuned for Amy Manuel, who's next. She'll be here with The Intersection. I'll see you again on Monday with the Facebook show, which is called The Pop-Up Show at 4 o'clock on Monday Eastern Time. And then the next Wednesday, same time, same station in life. In the meantime, if you see her, you know what to do. Tell her I love her, okay? And I do too.